are live, ladies and gentlemen. Russell Chat City in the building. The whole gang is here. Michael, where you been?
Up here in Louisville doing my thing, man. Running restaurants isn't very easy, brother.
Man, also, Malik, you've been on fire lately. You've been beating down topic after topic. I know you've been looking over in that corner like when is C-Shine gonna tag in? But look, I've been here. I've been here, man. I've been here. It's been a lot going on. Running this wrestling promotion, doing this, doing that, new promotion, all this great type of stuff. But we here for this one, and we about to kill it.
I seen you.
We about to kill it.
I seen you, Tyshawn. I seen your stuff. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, no, but like I said, I was on last night. I had me and my own crew. I had a blast. I mean, like I said, we killed this topic and a few others. Of course, we blasted on Stephanie McMahon as well too.
Kill this topic. Kill the topic.
I'm loving this.
This is kind of funny. I saw this before. This is funny.
This is not black on black crime, or this is not a hate crime. But he's a topic. That's what that is. He's a topic, people. And this is Vince McMahon running from us right now, and we're gonna get him.
Absolutely.
We're gonna get Vince.
He stopped for the pizza. He stopped for the pizza. Come on.
I love it. I love it when we kill topics. I love this session. I love it when we kill topics. It's the funniest shit ever. But just this is he gonna spray us?
That's what yes.
Okay. For those who haven't seen the topic is posted right above your screen wherever you are. Today we want to go in depth. We want to talk about this situation that's going on right now in the WWE with Vince McMahon. One of the biggest topics that's out there thus far. It's a major shocker. It's a scandal. It's drama. It's literally daytime TV soap opera times 10 right now. And I know, Malik, you said it already. You said that Vince can't keep his snake or his worm or his whatever the hell pet in his pants. Now it's coming to a situation where this could literally be, in my opinion, and I was sharing this with Michael. I think this could it be somebody's making a play for the throne? Could somebody be making a play for the throne?
It seems like somebody might be making a play for the throne because at this point, this is the tip of the iceberg. For something as in-depth as it is, for as large of a chunk of change as it was, how did this mysteriously be held down so long, and now nobody knows how, but it's come to light? And the very first thing that I would think that comes to mind, gentlemen, is the fact that we don't know who this woman is, but yet somebody has blown the whistle and it wasn't her.
She's a paralegal.
So that means to me, though, somebody else besides the people who are implicated knows something. And then the next thing becomes, what else do they know? So this could be very much just the tip of the iceberg. And we're just finding out that this might be one of very many payoffs, very many that we're going to find out about here in the very near future. But right now, my thought process is, first of all, we've heard it's a paralegal. I've speculatory or through the grapevine of speculation, I've heard that it could be talent. I heard it could be executives. On any level, $3 million is a lot of money to make disappear from a major corporation and not have a paper trail in any way, shape, or form. I can understand a $20 bill, come on. But $3 million is definitely a red flag that an HR department or a payroll department isn't going to see. So whose pocket did this come out of? And who blew the whistle? Because whoever got paid hasn't said a word or hasn't stepped forward yet. What are you thinking, buddy?
Well, what I have heard, and this is why I addressed on my show last night, from all the links and articles I've read, I've heard, like I said, the first one's a paralegal. They say she's 41 years old. And the only person with $3 million who has $3 million is probably Vince himself. he's a billionaire with all the money, so he has the money to pay hush money, to keep somebody quiet. But now, what also I've heard is one of the other theory we have is they said somebody actually on the board of directors leaked this, wanted to leak this on purpose, because I think somebody on the board hates Vince's guts, and I'm guessing somebody was so mad that this was going on, they decided, hey, look, somebody was probably thinking, I got to stop him, so they leaked it, and here we go. It's the train has left the station, and it's a runaway train, not going to stop anytime soon. Now, my dad, and my dad's not even a wrestling fan. He just told me just now that he saw something on the computer that's saying Vince doesn't own as much of the company as people think he does now, all of a sudden. But I'm saying, he's always been titled the chairman and the CEO, and so, but also here's the thing, that might be true to a sense, because ever since they become a publicly traded company, and you got many stockholders and investors and everything, that takes shares away from, I guess, him. But they say he still holds the majority of the shares. That's what I've heard said in the media. I think I even heard it on the CNN media segment. He owns most of the shares.
Yeah, he owns most of the shares in the company. So that's why I draw the conclusion and dive into the conspiracy of the fact that this could be a play for the throne. Let's look at recent activities with WWE dealing with Eternal, far as family wise. Family wise, we know that Vince McMahon has had some troubles with Shane McMahon publicly. Things that they tried to hush up, things that they tried to work out and move to the side. We know that Vince McMahon has, had a rockiness with his daughter in the past. I say like 2016 and 17, there was problems. Then there was problems with also Triple H. So there's eternal problems going on. If you go back to the Stephen A interview, there was things that Triple H kind of treaded on and didn't tread on. But you can look at the mannerism with most of these interviews and all of this backstage stuff, but it draws that smidget of a conclusion that there could be a play for the throne here. It looks like, since we all know that Vince McMahon has the majority of shares, understood, then what could you do to get him out of or get him to step down, to get him out of the position? And Vince been doing this thing for years, y'all. We acknowledge that in the pre-conversation. He's been doing this. He's been right? He's been doing all that for years. Okay, so we know what Vince has been doing. We got it. But now it's coming up to a point to where it's then got out there at a level of where it's kind of like there's no return for Vince.
No.
There's literally no return here.
He's stepping over the line in the sand where he's screwed.
Yeah, but the other point I want to touch on, you notice, ever since he sent Shane home, Shane has disappeared from sight long before this, and he disappeared now. Mm-hmm. You notice that? He might have something to do with this too. Might be somewhere behind the scenes.
That's what I'm saying, brother. What I'm saying is drawing a lot of situations that seem kind of iffy, where you see the situation that like him and Stephanie had, the run-in him and Triple H had, and of course recently him and Shane. It looks like this scandal here is just tip of the iceberg of one of others that's now being aired, and they were just waiting for the right legal situation to put Vince McMahon in the hot seat and get him out the way, to get him to step down. He stepped down from chairman. That's a fact. Yeah, now, is he gonna release his share in the company? Is he, because you gotta look at it. Does Vince really love WWE? Because if he continues, and if more of his dirt continues to comes up and piles up, this is the effect for those who don't understand. The effect for the company is, does USA want to continue with him? If some of this stuff airs and comes up, if it gets vomited out here to the public, does USA want to stand with it? NBC, Fox.
Yep.
Because
NBC, Universal.
Vince McMahon is known as WWE.
Go right out the window.
Yeah, Vince McMahon is WWE.
I mean, there's
So
the sponsors. This is a different day and age. This isn't the Attitude Era. This is a time where you say the wrong term that you used 20 years ago, people are dropping you left and right. This thing could really, really financially cripple this company. You're right.
and technology is superior right now. So we don't know what has been dug up and what is about to be aired out. So all of that would force USA, NBC, Fox, all of them to say, "Hey, Vince, like they made him step down." That's the board, which consists of other big heads. That's why I told people. I said to you, Malik, in the past. I said to you, Mike, is that people can understand. Vince ain't just spending Vince money no more. He literally has let other people in, but now he has the majority share. But now it's come to a point where every last one of them can back out. And we all know that there's other companies. Yeah. It's evident that there's other companies now that they can run to. That they can say, you know what, we're gonna roll over to you. So does Vince really want that? Does he want to be spending just Vince McMahon money only? Because that can decline. Then there's shareholders. So it's getting ugly right now. And so that's why we bring up this conclusion that somebody could be making a play for the throne. Could it be Vince? Could it be Vince's son, Shane? Could it be Vince's daughter and husband? I got to put them as a package. Or could it be the Polynesian assassin himself, Nick Khan? See, a lot of people don't know the history with Nick Khan. Nick Khan grew up with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Nick Khan and his sister are best friends with Dwayne Johnson.
You know what? I saw a picture with him. Yeah, with her sitting in the middle. Right. Look at this. There's a theory people saying now. You notice The Rock has bought the XFL. Him and his ex-wife / business manager, business partner own that. Rock has got the jack. Maybe he could buy WWE. See, that's the other thing. See, they're saying all of this is coming to light. Also setting up WWE to be sold because somebody wants to buy WWE. People say NBC or Universal. Now, but if The Rock could buy WWE, that would be a whole new game changer. What think about that?
That's where I'm going with this. That leaves so many people right now. Like it's like a mystery movie. Who's sending that shot to kill Vince McMahon's power in WWE right now? Like I said, it can be Shane, it can be Stephanie. I got to include with Triple H. It could be The Rock. It can be Nick Khan. Nick Khan and The Rock are the connect. That's the Okay, for a lot of people that don't know the Polynesian connection with WWF, they saved WWF a long time ago. Do your history. Or
the Samoans, that whole family, that lineage, everything. It's bulletproof to Vince because they have held him. They held him up when he needed it. Not held up in a bad way, but they lifted him up. They saved that company. You're absolutely right. And you know
how do a lot of y'all think the territories ended? You know, what helped with the territories? Vince had some backing from others as well. I'm sorry, Mike.
No, I was just going to say that, you know, through this whole thing, and when you bring up all those names, like who is the assassin, the only person who's had any balls to come to the forefront and do all this stuff and take responsibility for it over and over again has been Khan. It's been Nick Khan. You don't hear about Stephanie axing all this talent and saying budget cuts and in the same week saying that they had record earnings. No, it's always been Nick Khan. He's like the perfect fall guy, or is he just that cutthroat, that cold-blooded, and that big of an assassin? And I'm going with the latter on this one. Now, I don't know necessarily if this goes all the way up to The Rock and if it's that conspiracy level, but if there's anybody who's going to go for the throne, it's him because he's the hot shot. He's the guy saying, hey, I've taken this company by storm, and I've even gotten into the old man's mind, and I've got him making decisions he'd never make. Nobody else can do what he's done. So but keep going with your thoughts because I want to hear this, but that's what I think. I think Khan is behind a lot of this.
Me too. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Because Nick Khan looks like a mafia type person. So Nick Khan has power. He's got more power than people think. Okay. I think he's wielded power since day one. I think that's a mistake on Vince's part. See, Vince invited it because look, people say Vince is a snake. And what happens?
Okay, can I need somebody to go ahead and look at let's see how much percentage, how much control does Nick Khan actually have on the company? Because I hadn't kept up with it. I know I looked in on it like last year.
Well, on the website of the last site, they're saying he's the chief revenue officer. They're supposed to call him. That's his title. He's a chief revenue officer. because when Stephanie sent out a message when she was made interim CEO, she's saying she's looking forward to working with somebody Riddick and Nick Khan, the chief revenue officer.
I'm looking it up right now, guys.
Yeah, I can look it up too. Yeah,
I remember. I think when I looked up, there was like a chart that showed the power.
Nick Khan by himself, and I'll see what I can find on him. What exactly he is and how much power he really has.
Okay, because right now.
Okay, right here, yeah. Nick Khan is listed as president of WWE. Okay,
that's what I'm seeing too.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, see, Nick Khan is president and chief revenue officer of WWE, global media company. Okay, he says right here, Khan, a former practicing attorney, transitioned to international creative management in 2006, where he launched their sports media department and represented the biggest names in sports broadcasting.
How much percent of the company does he has? Like, that's what I need to know.
Okay, leadership roles in him. Okay, let's see if I can pull it. If I can pull that up, I don't know.
Okay, once you get to that, chime in on me. So, folks, as you follow us along, we're just painting the picture of what people are not looking at right now. And in a minute, the news and everybody's gonna be they're gonna be talking about what we're talking about now. But see, I like to move right ahead of it. Like, oh, hold up, really? I know a power play when I see one, because some of y'all that know me personally, you've seen the moves that I've made on a smaller level. So whenever I see something like that, that's the only reason why this really got me talking, is because I know a power play when I see one. This is a power play. Somebody is making a power play. Now, will they be successful? We're gonna be staying tuned. Especially, I'm gonna be staying tuned and studying, and this is what I care about as a fan. See, a lot of times we say, like I've said this before. I know Mike, you've heard me talk about it. Is that sometimes some of the shit fans shouldn't worry about, like the ratings. Ratings don't mean shit. Never meant shit. It was just a ploy just to say who got the biggest stick. That was just it. But it never really meant anything for the fans. The only thing that would accurately mean anything to the fans, and I say this time and time again, is attendance. But attendance, it can be fabricated as well. But it's only when you have to check out and to yourself and to your finances to see if you're really making what you're making off the door, off the gate. Now, ratings, who does it mean anything to? That's a network. But when a network does a multi-year deal with you, that's it only becomes a factor. Ratings only become a factor when it's time to renew or make that deal. So technically, fans, you should never care about the ratings. Ratings don't do shit for you. You don't make that decision. Go ahead.
Over on my other podcast that I work on, I've actually done a piece about the ratings and what the ratings equate to, and how we'll never get the ratings that we used to. And what it's like you said, ratings are all about advertising revenue. Okay. And we look at the numbers where they hover today, and it's always going to be a skewed number because 20 plus years ago, when we had the Monday Night Wars, we had VCRs. So you had to be tuned into the network to watch it, to record it. So you actually had that rating recorded, which is now we have DVRs. Your television doesn't even have to be on. You have digital playback. You have every multimedia platform out there. So that one rating might actually reflect a 5 or 6 in reality of people who are going to see stuff. But that one rating is everybody who's seen all the advertisements versus everybody who's seen it on a digital or other streaming platform where they could skip it all. That's where the ratings had meetings back in the old days. And the more ratings you had, more advertising dollars you had, the stronger financially your company was, and the more you could pay your stars to keep them from jumping ship. Today, that does not apply. That just does not apply.
To credit some of the things that I'm saying, look at The Simpsons. The Simpsons have not pulled the ratings. Like, as long as they've been around and been on primetime spots, especially on Sundays, you would think that The Simpsons drew the biggest rating, better than the fucking NFL. But no, the Simpsons ratings were never that amazing, where they were just, everybody was just, they had their high points, but to be lasting this long, to outlast Saturday Night Live, wasn't known for just having good ratings. So it's all about what the agreement that you and that company meet upon to agree upon and go forward with. So ultimately, it's all about the ratings lead down to negotiation. All right, well, look, I want this, I want that, I want that. There are shows that were great. Craft companies. People who talk about the controversy was there. A great show. Hell, you had freaking what was that HBO show? King of Thrones. Great ratings. Walking Dead, amazing ratings. They made it trickle just a little bit, but still they were compared to other things. They were amazing ratings. But at the same time, look at most of them are coming to an end. That should tell a lot of you something.
Well, what it comes down to is what the bargaining chip was in the past doesn't apply to what we're looking for and what's happening now in the future or present day. Now, looking at what we got going on, and this is very interesting because we've touched upon the ratings of the past. Something that Malik was talking about earlier is how much has Vince gotten away with in the past, and how much more important is this, and is this going to be the tip of the iceberg? I mean, looking at the past, speculative things that Vince had been brought into court. What do you guys remember being the big things and how he got away with it?
The first I saw was the steroid trial. That's the only thing I saw at that time. But see, that was long before the internet explosion and social media explosion, like what we have now, like this platform we have now. See, and we're just fans. But see, now fans can have a voice. But like most WWE fans are going to look at us and say, "Oh, we're just this, that, and the third," and they saying, "Oh, Vince is awesome," and because they like the show. We like wrestling too, but we're going to call the bullshit we see. Now, if you notice, I'm sharing my screen now. It doesn't say he owns anything coming out. He owns anything, but here's his network. You look at the page right here.
I think there's a chart like you can look at percentages. I think it's just about percentages in WWE.
Here's the thing. You see right here, he earns $1.6 million annually as a salary. I'm like, ooh, that's a nice salary, and his net worth is around $5 million. So that's they show right here his personal info, his family life, his wife and daughter. His religion is Muslim. He's married right here. His wife and girlfriends. Wow, okay, that's someone like Vince. Oh, nice house.
Very nice.
Here's picture right here. See, that's his sister, and that's the Rock. There's the Rock. See that right there. And now here's some interesting his controversies. He became president of WWE in 2020. Since then, he has released its many big stars abruptly, which has a negative effect on the audience. Fans claim Nick Khan to be the culprit behind such decisions. Of course, they're right about there. But he revealed in an interview that releasing many stars is a decision taken collectively involving both Mr. McMahon and Triple H. So Triple H has had something to do with that. He also accepted that he didn't have a bigger role in releasing superstars as he wants to bring back something like the Attitude Era in WWE. Wow, he wants to bring back the Attitude Era. And I said Nick and The Rock are childhood friends. What is Nick Khan's net worth? $5 million. Is Nick Khan brother of Tony Khan? No, of course. Okay, so we can kill that.
I've always loved that one. I've always loved that.
So there he is. There. He's a former attorney, and he was an attorney in WWE. And when he came on board as president, of course, and they said it was in 2020, 2019, something like that. So there you go. But like I said, see, this is all right here, just a page of a fact check page, which I was basically the best I could do to find. So I'm pretty sure there's more to find. You just gotta dig. I mean, I can keep digging and see if he has any stock or ownership in WWE. I doubt it.
Who would have the most to gain from this, from the demise of Vince McMahon, in you guys' opinion? And also, you can switch it with who would you rather see in the play for the lineup as far as the throne?
I like to see The Rock, and I like to see The Rock. That's just me personally. I like to see The Rock.
Okay, Mike.
Triple H, just because he had the vision, the original NXT, knowing the importance of bringing in those indie stars and not changing their names, their identities, and letting them flourish, and bringing, going back to the old territory style. I loved it. I wouldn't mind The Rock either, but I mean, I think The Rock is pretty much set on running for president at some point. So I don't think you could do both. I think it'd be a little convoluted. But I mean, I think The Rock would do just as great of a job. But Triple H, I think, has the business acumen for it because he's been in it way, way longer.
I'm gonna say this about the NXT, which is I'm being accurate here. NXT 2.0, which is actually the black and gold brand, which is the after the reality version black and gold brand. Because a lot of people don't know this. This is really NXT 3.0.
Yeah.
Wild and Young. Then there's NXT Takeover. Now you got the 2.0 with the fake 2.0. Now this is what I want to say about this. Vince McMahon was heavily involved with the remake of NXT, which was the takeover era of NXT. And this is the thing about this. What I want to get to is Vince couldn't do what he wanted to do with WWE because of the sponsors and shareholders. He couldn't be Attitude Era-ish. Vince has always wanted to bring back the Attitude Era. The closest thing that they got to the Attitude Era and being more free to do what they want to do was, and one thing about Vince is the type of person that will show you that you need this, and which shows me that Vince is really the mastermind behind NXT Takeover. That whole thing and letting them be raw, letting them be gritty, and doing it. We think it's Triple H. Triple H wasn't the genius in the Attitude Era. The genius in the Attitude Era was Vince McMahon. See, people look over Vince McMahon because we want a bad guy. We want somebody to blame. They always got to have, like WWE, they always got to have somebody to put out there. It's the media at its best. We want somebody to be see, they're out of touch. There's something wrong with them. But if you understand what Vince was facing doing his WWE, I would say ruthless aggression turned into PG era. You got to understand that Vince literally is dealing with multiple. It's not just his money anymore. It's multiple people that's in the pot. So he has to answer to Pepsi, Snickers, Susan Q company, Sears. He's dealing with other companies that are gonna say, "Hey Vince, can you tone it down? Can we get more John Cena?" The crowd says they want Daniel Bryan. Come on now, Daniel. Let's give him some Daniel. Yes, you heard that? Well, Vince, my son likes this hustle and respect. and if Vince tries to buck up against them, they might pull out. One thing I know about investors and I know about sponsors from dealing with them I'm talking about on the small level, folks. I deal with companies on a small level. They will back out. They are sponsors. Hey, well, some of my sponsors, we kept it real. They will back out. So, do you want to spend your own money? Would you like to be open to do business? So you compromise. Vince is well documented. Vince is compromised with a lot of these different companies. So the smartest thing to do is, you know what? I got an idea. Triple H, go over there. And I'm gonna. Y'all notice Vince wasn't missing a lot of tapings at NXT. Remember, he was there. He was there behind the curtains. He was there directing. So it still lets you know, for somebody that's that old, this is something that got his attention. This is something that he's doing. He's trying to show, in which he did. Think about it. He showed the other companies and networks like, hey, the attitude, this type of the vibe, the characters can really work. Look at what's going on with 2.0. Characters. Look at all the colorful characters. Are we not seeing? Vince has been a part of this from the jump. So to say is everybody's giving the props to Triple H. That ain't. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The NXT takeover that y'all know, that was Vince McMahon. Wasn't Triple H. Triple H is literally under, and he said it. He's under the tutelage of Vince McMahon. It's just the illusion that us believe that it's been Triple H. It's really Vince. Vince has been running NXT. He is the end all, and Triple H has said it. He is the ultimate. He has the final decision. There's a lot of decisions that Triple H makes that are stupid. We all know that. But whatever he does good, he gets praised for. What he does bad, Vince McMahon gets slandered for it. Vince is that same genius that we've known from the past. So just because I don't like some of the things he do, I'm not gonna sit here and fabricate or lie about him. I'm just saying he's still that guy. He still has that vision. But if you look at the evidence of what he's doing 2.0, 2.0 has some excitement to it. People don't know. It's like we want this version, but Vince's ultimate goal was to get it to be on USA. That was the goal. And notice it went from the network to USA.
And
So
now to Peacock, or for short, the cock.
The cock, yeah, the cock.
Which is ironic because the cock is what's gotten Vince in trouble. But that's another story. Anyway, Tyshawn. But anyway, no, look to your point about investors. Aside from that, it's but like I said, all that may go out the window now. I don't know, but like I say, but
no, I'm saying this, sir. With investors, and when you're okay. Also, guys, y'all know what a board is. A board it's like it's basically a committee to where these are people that have heavy stake within the company. They have say so. So it's on the board right now. It's Michael, Malik, Tishawn, Sadiddy person over here, and we got Charmin Ultra company over here. So Wrestle Chat wants to. No, I got the majority share of Wrestle Chat. Mike, you got a percentage, and Malik, you got a percentage. We know you do. So it's like, all right, we're bosses, but we got sponsors right there too. So if I be like, okay, I want to keep NLCW the way it's been, we're gonna be gritty, grimy. You might be like, I got some things I want to do with the music. I want to push that more. So that wrestler that does the music, let's push him. And I'm like, chill out, Mike. Chill out. That guy's he's not really over. You're like, oh, let's make him over. So now we got a situation. Malik's like, hey, look, I want some more. I want that politic character to be pushed. We got politics going on. I'm like, okay, hold on. So now we all three going at it. The sponsors want something. So the best thing for me to do, the best thing for me to do is to literally, okay, Malik, I'm gonna push that guy. Mike, you want music? More music? Okay, I'm gonna push this. I'm gonna compromise. I'm gonna sit here and try to make everybody happy, and that might bring down my product a little bit more. But that's the position I'm in. So understand the position, but that's why I never just rushed off to blame Vince, because I kind of, at a small level, I understand what he's going through. I can kind of see a little bit. We peons on this one on business level, but I can understand a little bit. So he's dealing with millions. So I understand the stuff that can go on and how petty certain rich individuals can be. It's very easy to walk off like, I don't need this. I'm gone. And that's it.
Well, my conclusion to that is maybe he shouldn't have went public with his company. He should have kept it private. He'd have been better off. I mean,
money. Look how much money they've been grossing. Make more money that way, bro.
See,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? More money, more problems. That's all. But see, like I said, that's a whole different thing. Like I said, but I guess he didn't care. All he cares about is his, as I said last night on my show, his appetites.
Well, let's say it like this here. The one thing, okay, the goal, the reason why I kind of understand what Vince and company has done. The goal is to be infinity away, light years away, and with that you stack up more money. You get more money in between you and any competition. Think about it. You got AEW that's just emerged, which is backed by billionaires and a genius businessman. No matter what people want to say about that awkwardly social guy, Tony Khan, he's a genius. He is a master businessman. If I've known Tony Khan before the pro wrestling, because when I was studying business, he's one of the Khan family was one of the names that kept coming up. That's how I knew about his father owning the Black News Network. I knew about their dealings with trades and so forth before that. So people have to understand that when you're talking about Tony Khan, this dude here, he be business tight. He's business tight. So if I'm a company like WWE, I was preparing myself for companies like this, because Tony Khan in just a short amount of time has literally shot up like that. AEW is not a small factor like everybody want to play it. They're not small. They're not small like people want it to be. And then we've never in our lives seen a company like this ever. We've never seen a company start off in a major arena. We've never seen it. Every company that starts off usually has a small beginning where they're in a little small flea market or something like that. Just some studio. We're used to that.
AEW, America.
Yeah, Mall of America. There you go. or somebody's, like I said, a little studio or whatever, like the Universal, all that shit, or Fairgrounds, whatever. But or a news studio or some shit. But still, this is where it comes down. We've never seen nothing like this before. That is scary. This company didn't start off in the gutter. They started off, welcome folks, it's Jim Ross and Mike tonight. Like, I'm like, oh shit, they came heavy with it. So what Vincent Company has been doing for the past few years, making that money, going through the PG era, making everybody eat dirt, was the smartest thing you can ever do, because they got themselves ready for something like this. They saw the writing on the wall with TNA. TNA was backed by had a billionaire family behind them. Now, Panda Energy didn't go all out with TNA, which would have been devastating for Vince, because Panda Energy got some money. But that's the thing. What's going on now, and what happened in the past, they did a smart thing. But it's just Vince is trying to bring everything to full circle with NXT. But now that's why I say he's set WWE up at a nice level. This is the perfect time to pull the switch, to go for the throne, bite the neck, Vince McMahon out the way, and take it. So somebody is running for the throne. Is it The Rock and Nick Khan? Is it Triple H and Stephanie? Or is it Shane McMahon? Or is it all of them?
It could be all of them. Yeah, it could be all of them in some way. Like I said earlier, somebody on the board I've heard leaked this on purpose. Maybe somebody on the board maybe wants a throne. Who knows? Like I said, see, I think what it is at this point, Vince McMahon, what he's done, like that's not just these allegations, but the kind of person he is in general. Because I've heard, like, even when he was in college, he's been known to be a bully.
Well, Mike,
or multiple people on his board, I think, hate his guts, and somebody wants to bring him down.
Mike, I want to start with you. I want to start the process of elimination.
All right.
Stephanie McMahon. I want to eliminate Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. Are y'all okay with me eliminating them out of the investigate? Like, if we investigating who's going for the throne, who's trying to get Vince McMahon out of that damn seat? Who's because somebody in power and somebody of influence wants Vince McMahon out of there. I want it, and I'm on the stand. I'm gonna tell y'all why I say Stephanie and Triple H are out of the links on this one. Stephanie has the rightful heir. She's the oldest. Mm-hmm. Am I right, or is it Shane?
Right. Yeah, she's rightful heir. She's gonna get it all.
She's interim CEO now, so it may become permanent in the months to come.
So she's the rightful heir, but could she be bought? Yes.
Yeah.
She could be bought.
Because
let me point something out real quick.
All right.
Did we see the recent articles of her trying to leave?
Yeah,
Triple H's health, from what I've heard on another dirt sheet, Triple H's health ain't all that damn good. And they family, their daughters are going through some stuff. So I hate to put out the personal, but they're going through some stuff. Stephanie wants to leave. Somebody knows what they know the personal. And they're like, okay, Stephanie will sell. Vince steps out, we get Vince out the way, Stephanie gonna sell. Or either Vince will sell his shares. So either way, I'm eliminating Stephanie and Triple H out of this one. So now we left with Nick Khan, The Rock, and Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon.
Let's not forget John Laurinaitis, because he's tied to this situation. He's implicated in this situation. And we don't know exactly how high up his power goes, but he's got to be tied to somebody. One, he's tied to Vince in this scandal. But two, is he tied to whoever's trying to oust him? So he gets more power and he can take over the company, or is he more in the fall guy position? We can't rule him out because of how high he is and seemingly untouchable as far as firing.
I rule him as the fall guy because Vince is going to throw him to the wolves. I say he's a fall guy. John Laurinaitis.
Well, Mike, Malik, me and Mike talked. We touched on this. Now, me and Mike talked about this. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go ahead and can I talk about it, Mike?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, when me and Mike was talking about it, I said I noticed how Vince you know, because I listened to the wordplay on what was said in the article. It was said that he threw her to him like a toy, like he just tossed, oh, here, you get her. Now, in mind, whenever, you know, if you get involved with a chick and you kind of, you know, you kind of want to throw her off, or either you want to make sure you get somebody else dirty. Usually you have some, like if you're doing drugs, you try to make sure the person that's close to you and they see you doing it, they get involved. Because if you go down, they gotta, or you gotta fight. You can trust them. I need to know that, you know, you involved too. So if you try to out me, you gonna get fucked off too. Vince, from what we heard in the transcript, Vince gave her away to him like a toy, like she was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, but knowing that John Laurinaitis is a married man, is a good, faithful married man,
Really?
trusting individual, who's one of the most noblest in his stable.
People power.
Scouts honor. People power. We know that. But Vince said, no, you know what? Let me make sure get your ass dirty. You know, and Vince got him dirty. So, come on, Laurinaitis. I know you've been hanging around us. You like these titties? Come on, you've been watching me jackhammering over there in the room, huh? On the private jets. You've been looking. I seen you jerking yourself. Come on. You can have some. Here, there you go, girl. Push up.
I guess the Bella's mother doesn't turn him on no more. Now I've heard. Now as far as she goes, I've heard she has brain cancer.
Men can be weak at any moment. So let's just be 100. They on the. I don't know them like that, but I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna throw up a theory. They're on the plane jet. Lonely night. You know, Laurinaitis ain't seen his wife, and yeah, and all of a sudden, Vince is rubbing one off with old girl, and he says, "Hey, Laurinaitis, get you some cake." Laurinaitis says, "Oh well, yeah," and he gets him some cake, and now Vince McMahon's like, "Oh yeah, taking pictures, pulling the Brad Maddox."
Yeah, Brad. I remember that. Yeah.
So,
the old saying goes, how do you make your biggest? How do you make your biggest liability your biggest ally? By putting it all off on them. So Laurinaitis knew this was going on, so let's share it. Now, if I go, you got to go, so you're not going to testify against me. But now Sean and I talked about this, and tell us what you think, please. With all the scandals that happened before, Laurinaitis wasn't part of that. If they put him on a stand, is he going to crack? What do you guys think?
I'm wondering. I mean, you know, but of course, even if he doesn't crack, and they catch him in a lie, it's still perjury. So that's still a fall guy. So you're under oath. Remember to say under oath. I hereby swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Well. From allegedly, this money is a combination of Vince and Laurinaitis. This is shut up money. But that investigation is the investigation so far we're knowing about is about Vince. Well, did they use company money? Now that's. But for this investigation, now there's multiple other investigations that's being allegedly talked about. But there we have it, man. It's like Vince. You know, he may have, because we know he's a genius. But sometimes even smart people think they're too damn smart and they try to cover their tracks. And my belief is, if he was doing this, he should have kept this woman, whoever he's fucking fooling with, he should have kept her supremely secret from everybody, and just, you know, had hell. He should have had a relationship where he didn't show his fucking face. He just came in with a mask every day and just did his thing. But I'm in fantasy land. But he got people.
He should have worn a mask.
He got others involved, and he's gotten John Laurinaitis involved, or he let him see too much. And he's like, you know what? Well, shit, let me keep him in the loop, where he knows about it, and also he's involved with it. So he's gonna move in favor of us, not just me, us now. Because at first it could have been Laurinaitis, don't say nothing about this, okay? All right, cool. But now it's Laurinaitis, if you do say something, you outing yourself. And that pretty little wife you got over there with them pretty little twins that I heard you touch too. But don't worry about that. Everything's safe. And there he is.
So if we can rule out Triple H We can rule out Stephanie, and we can pretty much rule out Laurinaitis because he's either the fall guy, and he's obviously been implicated as an ally. He's been implicated for the. I mean, we're not idiots. We're basically figuring this out. So this leaves Khan, who I'm still seeing as the biggest red flag. I mean, none of this crazy shit has happened until he's come into the company or bullied his way through everything. So Khan's at the top of it. I don't see The Rock being associated, but I could see The Rock stepping back and just waiting in the shadows like, we'll see where this goes. And I'll tell Vince that I'm going to rescue the company by putting $500 million in, but actually I'm just going to buy out the controlling factor.
And the thing is, you notice all these years, The Rock is one of the few wrestlers not to become a casualty. Instead, he went the opposite way. He went into the stratosphere. He paid Vince for the licensing to use Rock. The Rock could show up on AEW as The Rock with the theme song. So it's like taking a piece of WWE.
He doesn't even need The Rock's name. He can use Dwayne Johnson.
Right, and also he's a big movie star, $20 million per movie. And look what he's got coming out now with DC Comics. He's playing Black Adam. He is basically excelling. And so see with the money he probably has, along with his ex-wife, who are they good friends, business partners, and she's his business manager. And they just bought the XFL from Vince, the second attempt at the XFL, which failed miserably, and The Rock produced it. But
let's not tread over it.
Rock to me has the power and the money to run WWE.
Let's not run over what you just said, because let's back up what you just said. You said he once bought, which is documented, he bought XFL off of Vince McMahon and Company. That seems to be is there a pattern here?
Yeah, good pattern.
No, when the XFL was in what? Hot water?
Yep, for the second time.
Yeah.
I think we need to scratch this one. Yeah. It's scratch and sniff. I smell it.
Yep. Do you smell what he's cooking?
You smell what The Rock has been cooking?
And look, The Rock is probably somewhere still cooking behind the scenes. He's doing different kind of cooking.
Then he just bought his cousin Tamina a new house. He flexing.
Okay, so we look at all the major players in this right now, unless it's somebody from behind the scenes, but you don't hear about other names because, as we talked about earlier, the other big names that were always associated were George Barrios and Michelle Wilson. Both were let go at the time that Nick Khan was all of a sudden mysteriously brought into power, and he turned into the new guy into the mega bully. So you look at the people who could have been suspects as far as execs, and they've been out of the company for a year, at least a year. Okay. So unless they might have known something, were released, and now they're very bitter and they could be the ones blowing the whistle. You look back and say, okay, well, you gave us each a $2 million severance package, but you paid this girl $3 million to keep her mouth shut. Well, I saw that paycheck.
The only reason why I disagree with it being somebody that's of a small fry, as far as behind the scenes, is because there's too much other shit coming right behind it. They're talking about multiple other accusations investigations that's going on.
Multiple NDAs.
So when you're investigating, that means that facts have been brought forth, and now they have to sort through these facts. That's a problem. That means somebody with heavy influence either to stack this up, or a couple people with heavy influence came together and say, "Oh, look at that! Look, hey, you need to look at that. Is it official? Oh, it's official. Okay, let me look at it. They're from the courts. They're finna check all this out. If you don't understand, there's a guy by the name of R. Kelly who has a cell that looks like Vince McMahon might be sitting right next to. If that's the case, because see, R. Kelly got off. Let me show some parallel universe similarities. R. Kelly got off only because back in the days, he got off earlier because of the fact that the whole world had pretty much seen that video. And the child pornography law had gotten passed. I believe I'm a little rusty on my information because I did a whole episode about it. I'm gonna say child pornography law got passed something like 1995, 6, 7. One of those. But if you research, you'll know I'm in the ballpark. So child pornography was illegal in the 2000 era. I'm just saying, 2000 on up, it was illegal. So R. Kelly, what he ended up doing was that tape had leaked So you had barbershops selling it. You had big time porno companies .coms featuring it on their sites.
Disgusting.
The biggest porn company in the world is owned by an owner that actually owns the Bible. So just to give you a visual of how powerful and how many of, and then a lot of us had seen it. I think I was a minor, so I think I'll be okay. But let's say hypothetically, if they had to convict R. Kelly, you would have to pull the receipt sites of people that have purchased it, the people that have gotten caught bootlegging, the people from these websites. Everybody would have went down. It would have been a weird vortex of people being indicted from all counts of from low to high. So that would have been a court disaster. But you say, well, Tishon, what the hell does it got to do with Vince McMahon? What it has to do is, okay, the second go around, notice the difference with R. Kelly's next run in with the law, with videotapes. Notice nobody alive can come forward and say that they saw, as far as us fans, we can't say that we saw those new videos. We have not seen those new videos, especially upon his conviction. So that lets us know that was the divining factor, was that everybody saw it. Now nobody saw it. As far as outside of that court, none of us got to see that video. We've not you would have seen it back. You would have seen it on a little dark website. Oh, R. Kelly new sex tape 2020. Huh. But we ain't seen nothing like that. We can't, because they got it nipped in the bud. They made sure they didn't make that same mistake that they made in the past, to where it leaked and it got out, and then that's how he was able to get off. So Vince McMahon, now let's get to Vince. Vince is notorious for scandals and things going on in WWF. Back in the days, he had other things in the rap. He had other tricks and other trades. Now that shit ain't working. Now we're in an era of social media where it's more powerful, especially outlaw social media like ourselves, Wrestle Chat. Yeah. We can literally look at how we broke down something so quickly. We're literally undressing. Oh, I'm sorry. We're killing the topic. Like, damn. We're looking at the main players who would benefit from this. We're pointing out stuff that people are like, you know what? That's factual. These low budget motherfuckers know something here. How the fuck that? But it's not hard to really see. So that's why I say now Vince McMahon can be taken down, because this day and age, it ain't like it was back when he was getting away with them scandals, where there was less access, there was less rogue legal advisors, rogue pirate networks, blog sites. Nobody was really talking and couldn't really say anything.
Yeah,
but now
there was basically no internet anyway at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And now either one of those videos or a text message from Vince can get uploaded to the world, and guess what's going to happen? It's everywhere. Evidence.
Right. And the minute a minute document gets exposed, if I catch it, I'm gonna screenshot it and download it. I'm gonna keep it.
So the backwards vortex for Vince McMahon and R. Kelly is the fact that R. Kelly's his win was by his shit being leaked, but Vince McMahon's will be by his shit being leaked. So his demise will be if this gets leaked. Well, just now, what just happened with the girl? If that gets leaked, he's in trouble.
It's a wrap. It's a done deal. He's done.
Well, what I think is very interesting is
go ahead.
They keep talking about it's third party. A third party is going to investigate. A third party is going to make a decision. A third party. They keep throwing this third party thing out. It's not going to be a WWE company. So it's another company that you could probably pay off. And that's why I know that they keep stressing this whole third party company, third party investigation, third party ruling, blah 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 blah. But that's just another person that can be paid off. So unless it's actually a branch of the government of some sort, it's whoever it is also up for speculation of their morals. Now, my what I'm looking at in this, and some of the stuff that the three of us discussed before we came on air tonight, is the fact that, okay, Vince had the steroid trial like you touched on earlier. Okay, I remember the scandals from television when you had preliminary wrestlers coming out saying that Pat Patterson and some of the other wrestlers had sexually come on to them and performed homosexual activities with them, or offered homosexual favors for pushes and merchandising, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's another one I remember. There's always been the long-standing rumor that Vince was the person who covered up the Jimmy Snuka murder. Of course, Snuka was never tried for it because of whatever, so we can't say it was his.
He said he was too old to be tried because they wanted to try him.
He was going to die. He was going to die, basically. Yeah.
So.
But this is very interesting because, and I'm going to touch on this real brief before I go on with the legal things. Now, I remember when I very first started watching wrestling, it was right after WrestleMania 1. And that's how old I am. And seriously, like a week or so after WrestleMania 1, Jimmy Snuka disappeared. Don't know where he went. Okay. And at that time, at 4 o'clock, when I would get home from elementary school, there was the AWA, American Wrestling Association. They would have a 1 hour time slot on ESPN, and Jimmy Snuka started appearing on that, but he was still on the Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling cartoon. You just never saw him on WWF television. Couldn't figure out why. Okay. Of course, that's when the so-called murder investigation started. So Vince kicked him out of the company. So he went to work for Vern Gagne over in the AWA and didn't come back, I think, till almost WrestleMania 7, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I wouldn't quote me on timelines, but that's 5 or 6 years away. That's a lot of cool-off period. That's a lot of money-bearing things, and that's a lot of evidence-bearing in the meantime. Okay? Mind you, when he got back, he wasn't the draw he used to be when around WrestleMania 1, when he and Piper were selling out stadiums, when Hogan was selling out stadiums with the Sheik, so on and so forth. I won't get into all that right now. Mm-hmm. The point is, that was another allegation against him that was never tied to it because they never had a formal trial for Snuka because all the evidence was messed up the first go-round. Okay? Then there was, of course, when Vince lost in court with the World Wildlife Fund, changing the WWF to the WWE. Now, with the sex scandals, yep, they got the F out, correct. And with the sex scandals, there was a lot of money that was paid out to unknown amounts of money paid out to the preliminary talent, and it was never brought up again. Of course, a lot of these wrestlers beforehand had appeared on Oprah and all kinds of talk shows, and then all of a sudden, hush, hush, money's paid out. So Vince, I believe, has this mentality. He, of course, you saw him in matches tagging with his son against Shawn Michaels and God and talking about being a wrestling god. He has let that megalomaniacal attitude and aspect of his life rule who he is. And honestly, with that bullshit appearance on SmackDown, which was dumb, and go into character and trying to turn this into a storyline, even fuels the fire of his megalomaniacal ways to the point where this is really going to turn out and bite him in the ass, because I think he really thinks he's untouchable from all these incidents in the past.
That is why I said it. I said that then he can escape. Like a person can go on a Oprah or whatever like this show, but it didn't linger and stay around forever. This is the day and age of social media. Many have failed before him. So Vince's dirt is coming up recently in the social media era. So this is going to be his demise. See, it doesn't go away like that.
Yeah.
Now you're held in court in the public's eye now, and the public, like we doing, we can go judge and jury on your ass, and if we don't like you, ultimately the networks want to appease us. They want to keep some of our attentions, because if the energy sways that we'll rock with, he's a scumbag, they're not going to be associated with that. But let's see this buffoonery that Vince McMahon pulled on SmackDown in its entirety. This is a clip from WWE SmackDown.
Yeah, let's see this bullshit. And he came walking out there with the same damn strut. That's what really kills me.
Oh wow!
and the fans actually give him a standing ovation. That's what I can understand. They know what's going on, and you still cheer for this man? Where are your morals? God Almighty!
Let it be their sister or mother. Let's see what they think then.
Yeah.
But they're those kind of fans, though.
Yeah, and people have the nerve to call us marks. Okay, whatever. I ain't putting money in his pocket no more.
And to the fans that's watching, not trying to play it accurately because WWE will hit us with copyright. So if you notice, the video will be chopped up and covered.
And look at the look on his face. Look at the smirk.
Privilege, as always, to stand before you here tonight, the WWE Universe. Especially a privilege to stand here.
He's having a mental breakdown.
In Minnesota. I'm here simply to remind you of the 4 words we just saw and what we call the WWE signature. Those 4 words are then, now, forever, and the most important word is together. Welcome to SmackDown.
And what the fuck was the meaning of that? That's what I want to know.
If he burns, they all burn.
That theme song, when the time comes and it's time for him to pay the piper, he does have no chance in hell. So that's a good theme song to keep using.
And dude, people note this. Let's go to hide the graphic now. Look at that. Look at that there. Comments are turned off. I wonder why.
Yeah, I do wonder why to myself.
Well, Michael, Malik, what's going on here? Why is it turned off? Why are the comments turned off?
Have something to do with negative publicity.
No, listen to me. I want to say something so nice to him. I want to tell him how great that amazing speech was. It was impactful to me in my life. It just changed my life.
Yeah. Okay.
You're getting Big E on me. Don't. Okay.
That's a good thing. That's smart. He turns on comments because if I would have comment, I'd have probably gotten flagged because like I said, if I had a chance to talk to him and say something to him, boy, I wouldn't be respectful. I damn sure wouldn't be nice. You know me, Tyshawn. You see my videos. You know me. I pull no punches. And like I said, now if I had a chance to call in and talk to his daughter, ooh boy.
I find this to be that was okay. My take on that bullshit that Vince McMahon put out there. That was dumb as hell.
Yeah.
But we all can say that. But I'm gonna say this though. What I saw on SmackDown was a man having a nervous breakdown, and I'm put you guys in the mind of it. This is somebody who's a global icon. This is somebody who literally changed the game. He is a legend. He is a genius. But now he's facing something because we all have these vices and we have these things that can take us down. But we some of us we thought we never would get taken down. Yeah. But when it happens,
too bad.
The door is relatively closing on Vince McMahon with this one because, like I pointed out, we pointed out earlier. This is a different time. Right now, it's not like it was in the Attitude Era and the bullshit and the Federation Era when they was getting away with shit. That's because things didn't stick around. Now Vince's dirt is coming up and hard evidence is presented and scandals are presented in the social media era. It's not the same. Now it's like Vince is like, just shaking it. Don't forget about it. No, they won't, Vince. And there's court documents and there's We also got you on this and we got you on that, and the board wants to investigate you. And also, there's another situation, Vince. The networks want to bring this up in the board, and they want to investigate it as well. Their lawyers were like, Vince, you can't shake this one. You can't we'll run a couple of you can't do that now. It's different. So look at how he walks out there. I'm gonna say he's in disbelief. It's happening to him. There are shows like Snowfall. That show when a man is such a genius, but when he's faced with something, he's actually being taken down. He can't really fathom it. Like, nah, I'm me. This can't happen to me. What? Nah, not me. This is Scarface all over again. It's happening to him.
But well, if he is having a mental breakdown, he's
come on, Malik. I've been around the block.
He's doing a very good acting job.
No, I disagree. That's my opinion. I disagree. I disagree that he's doing. He's not. That's a horror. I'm looking at his expression. Yeah. You can tell. Think about it. That is not. I'm telling you why it was horrible. It's horrible acting. We know Vince McMahon and him when he gets on the mic out there in public. He rarely fumbles. Yeah. And he never spends 60 seconds in the fucking ring to say something.
Yeah.
Vince is gonna be there for a minute.
He's Mr. Showboat. He's Mr. Put the spotlight on me and I'm not leaving.
Welcome WWE. Let's talk about shaking things up for a minute. And we're gonna start with you come out here. He's gonna do all of that. Yeah. But he came out there just say, then now we're gonna stick together, guys, stick together. He's gone. He's having a breakdown.
Okay, you're right. I didn't think of it that way. I thought he was doing something short and sweet and didn't leave it, but you're right.
I had the pleasure in life to be a part of a company that got taken down. And it was horrifically beautiful because this genius of a person thought they was slick, but I remember when this individual went up to speak, and you can tell it was out of character. It's going to always be out of character, whether they get emotional or they don't. But when they don't show emotion, it's because they didn't get the response that they thought. Vince went out there expecting to possibly get booed and get ridiculed, but as you notice, he was preparing for that. Because he probably was going to have a character for it. Like, you want to go against me? Well, I'm going to strip Brock Lesnar of ever coming. Like, and then Brock Lesnar would have came out and made the rescue, and they would have been like, oh, Brock, right. Brock would have got the cheers. It would have looked like a storyline. The crowd is cheering Vince.
Yeah, no, they stood up. He had a standing ovation.
So if you notice, that was an awkward moment. Vince is like, well, plan B. We don't have a plan B. I had a plan A. Yeah, guys, we're sticking together. Fuck is going on here? Okay.
What do I do? Ask Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis is pleading the fifth. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I wonder how much people power is going to help him now.
Well, as we saw, apparently these fans are, we got those type of fans. They're just nostalgic. Vince, whether he knows it or not, he's a fucking legend. He's a superstar. So he walks out there. It's been a while since he just been out there. So most cities and states, when they see him, of course they're excited. He probably hadn't been out there in public in Minnesota in probably about 5 years. He probably hadn't spoke in that particular area. Like, he rarely makes appearances. So of course people are going to cheer him. I truly believe that Vince thought that they were going to boo him. He thought they were going to boo his ass. He thought he was going to face that shit. So I think he was ready to be the heel, because Vince always keeps things in character. Notice this was out of character. So he was ready to get booed and give somebody else the shot. Notice I brought up Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar was that big surprise. He awkwardly just came out there at the end of the match and challenging Roman Reigns. Like, dude, what the fuck? Again?
Yeah, again. But that's all he's got. There's nobody else to really challenge Roman Reigns. There's nobody out of NXT. That's exciting. Nobody new to push against Roman Reigns.
Wouldn't it have been better if Brock Lesnar if the Minnesota would have been booing Vince McMahon? If it's just you know what? You guys are like me? Well, how that work for Brock Lesnar? Huh? He's not here. And all of a sudden, they would have went shit crazy. They would have ate Brock Lesnar up. They would have been the greatest thing to slice bread to them. And then it would have boosted up what was about to happen between him and Roman Reigns. But Vince didn't get booed. He got cheered. He got praised. And he's like, okay, then now forever, get the fuck out of here. Change the plan. They're not booing me. So I've got to turn this to a storyline. But Vince is going through it right now.
Yeah, he is.
He's doing desperate shit. That was him walking out doing a 60-second, whatever the fuck, is a fucking sign of a nervous breakdown. That's out of character. That's not something he usually do. He thought he's gonna go play a role. He didn't get to play that role. Vince is thinking of shit. He's facing himself, and we don't know. Every day it's a new news topic coming up on the situation is unfolding. So Vince is in trouble mentally. They need to check on that man. He might try to off himself. I hated if Wrestle Chat be the first to say that, but he might try to off himself. So watch him. Suicide watch, please. Somebody that cares about him.
Hey, hold on. You saying he might offer? You know what? That might not be a bad thing.
Oh,
that's just me. That's just me. You know how, like I said, that's just me. That might not be a bad thing in this case right now. I'm just saying,
This is what I'm going to say about this situation. You've got a really good point of saying he's having a nervous breakdown, because what was even the whole point of coming out there just to say that and leave? It makes no sense.
No sense.
Makes no sense whatsoever. And what I think is going through his minuscule mind is, well, I'm Vince McMahon. I tried to convince him I was dead once, so they read all this in the media. Maybe if I come out and act like a fool, they'll think that this is just all storyline, and I can convince the networks it's a storyline. But you look like an idiot, and you look like a lost sheep. Man, it's not even a sheep going to slaughter. He looked like a dog chasing his tail in the ring there for a second. We're all here together. All right, I got to go. Why'd you even say that? You could have said that from the top of the ramp. There was no reason to have your music. There was no reason to do the power strut. There was no reason to stand in the middle of the ring. You could have done that.
He was trying to be you're right. He was trying to be a heel. He was trying to come down there like a heel. Now, if y'all go back and look at stuff where he's coming out, he's been the face. He's literally going at a heel or something like that. He has a different approach to it. But this I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you're saying your point, when it comes out he's a face, it makes sense. It's realistic. It's realistic and it's organic. This was just basically what you just said. Basically, this was a clusterfuck. That's all this was.
Yeah.
And right now, even if somebody comes and somebody's watching, they say they debunk what we're saying. They say, Vince didn't have no other plan. He just came down there. Okay, even if you debunk what we're saying, it still stands. This guy's having a nervous breakdown. If Vince wasn't coming down there to play a heel role, still regardless, that was out of character. It was weird. And it's a sign from what I've seen through history and life. It's a sign of this man is having a nervous fucking breakdown. Somebody needs to watch him. Somebody. It's like Clive just said. Vince do not be on TV like I guess like before. Yeah, he's not there. Like, he doesn't do it like that. Him just jumping out there, just doing it and saying doing a 60-second. Now, don't quote me on that time, but I know it was. How long was that fucking video?
Like 60 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think it was even 60 seconds. I think it was maybe 20, 30 seconds at the most. Because he just walked down, typed maybe a couple of hands, and he got in the ring and said what he said, and then he was gone.
It was okay. The whole entire video is 2 minutes and 23 seconds. So it took him. Well, the crowd did their thing for a moment. So I would say crowd did their thing for about a good, let's say,
25 seconds.
Yeah, 25 seconds. No, they panned around. Okay, hold on. Matter of fact, let me see. 16, 20. Okay, 20 at 21. It's when mark of 21. That's when Vince McMahon appears at the top of the ramp. Then the crowd still doing their thing. 24, 26. Vince doesn't get into the ring until, God damn it, Vince, taking forever.
Gentlemen, excuse me one moment. Someone's knocking on my other door. Okay.
Okay.
One moment.
He gets in the ring at. Finally says something at 110. 110. 110. He says something. So, yeah, that's close to 60 seconds.
Well, we got it right.
We was pretty accurate. Okay.
He took 60 seconds of airtime to say some bullshit and then leave. You know what? If I was his lawyer, Jerry McDevitt, once he came back stage, I'd have slapped him right upside his head and said, "What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that, huh, Vince? Huh?
You should have kept y'all. You should have did what John. You should have did what John Laurinaitis said. Don't be there. Just stay at home.
Stay your ass at home, goddammit.
I swear. And hey, like I say, no, I think deep down he knows he's in trouble this time. I think he knows he's in trouble because even though this the social media era, the social media era is here to stay because we ain't stopping no time soon. Because see, with computers being improved and everything, and like these phones being improved on, with these new Samsung Galaxies and all the filming we can do, and the screenshots we can do like a computer, it ain't going nowhere. So technically, you can't do nothing celebrity can't do nothing without it getting filmed on phone or screenshotted. So see, if we catch you, that's your ass.
So
in this case, with Vince's, literally, even though we didn't see it literally, it's literally Vince's ass. So that's a problem. Go ahead.
So we're off by a couple of seconds because it took him. Oh, I'm not. Oh, I'm wrong. He came out there. He said this cost us a little less than 60 seconds because
that's even worse. See, it's less even. That's even worse. it's less. But still, it's the same. It was still a waste of time. He wasted his time coming out there. So if it's
less than 60. It is okay. We're accurate. Less than 60 seconds. Now let me say this to Derek. Derek Edmonds says he's still the head of creative. Still bad for WWE. He needs to go. Now let me say this. No matter how it looks like we're shitting on Vince McMahon, let me keep it 100. The guy is still a fucking genius. And to say that he's the problem with creative, I disagree. He ain't the problem with creative. The problem was the business deals that are done to keep up their upkeep on everybody else. The extra money, the appeasing the PG era. You have to understand, and I urge a lot of fans to try to, if you are going to criticize, do your due diligence on learning business practice, business ethics, company, corporations, the structure. Understand what compromising for your company is before if you go. Especially, we know Vince is a known genius and he's a known revolutionary in pro wrestling. That's a fact. Nobody would dispute that. Even Eric Bischoff, Jim Cornette themselves. No matter what silly shit you want to say about Vince McMahon, you can't dispute the man's a fucking genius. So he is that guy. Like I pointed out earlier, he did that to NXT. That was not Triple H's NXT. That was Vince McMahon. He was just showing the networks, hey, look, you guys want this product. This is the product you want. Notice, USA picked up NXT and brought it over to main cable. Vince McMahon feel like we gotta spruce it up a little bit, give it a little more color to it. Let's imitate what AEW is doing with the whole. If y'all notice, AEW played a color scheme in the beginning. Colors are to fascinate the fans. Yeah. It's a psychological thing. So because they keep having this weird color explosions all the time, color explosions. It's it's kind of a psychological thing. But Vince, if you notice, all of a sudden with NXT, the rebranding going into the USA, notice the colors, the wow, I can color, all the colors everywhere. That is to get you, spark your brain and so forth, like to mess with you. It's all of that type of shit. So I don't want to go too deep into like I'm in class, but that is a part of his genius. He understands what works and what doesn't work. So that goes to show that Vince ain't out of touch like everybody want him to be. He's out of touch on something, like companies can be out of touch on many different things, but Vince is still the man when it comes to ideas. He knows the formulas that work. So if you love the Attitude Era, he can give you that. Now, would it come with backlash? Hell yeah! It's a Me Too era. It's a era. So it's a lot of things you got to be cautious of when you're doing it.
The LGBT era too.
Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff that Vince stands on that you have to tread lightly on with that one. So to say that Vince get out of the way of being out of the way of creative is a good thing. I'm not too sure that Triple H running shit is a good thing. Because we've seen Trip ran shit into the ground before. So his ideas ain't always the best either. So you guys got the best person, Vince McMahon, but you got him muffled. Vince McMahon unmuffled may be good. But him being muffled with with business proposition that he has to fulfill with other board members, I don't like. I don't like PG era Vince McMahon. You like the brains, the bronze, the brutal, the crazy, the zany, attitude era, or you might like the Federation era, the golden Federation era. You know, so I kind of see that this. I see that blend in this NXT. I see the Federation and Attitude Era trying to be blended together. If you notice, look at when those of you go watch NXT, look at it for a second. Think about the Federation Era and think about the Attitude Era. Kind of combine them together and look at the vision. You're like, that's Vince McMahon. That's him. That's his shit. He's trying to combine Federation, the characters, the strikers, this guy, the juicy characters, the big long woman and the stallion woman. He's doing all that shit all over again. But he's mixing it with some attitude in it. So we see the vision and we see the person behind it. So when everybody try to say that shit, it's an easy scapegoat to say, if Vince is out the way, but him on the creative is gonna him on creative doesn't. It's him working with the board members and other people who have their hands in the pot creative that sucks. That's what sucks. Because everybody was eating out of their goddamn bowl from the Attitude Era and the Federation Era. If memory serves me correct, y'all love the Federation Era. Y'all love the Attitude Era. I don't know about that new gen shit that happened in between. Now we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the new gen gang shit that they were doing when everybody was in the gang.
The gang wars. I hated the gang wars.
You had Savio Vega and the Lost Boys. You had the
Los Barricos. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
the Los Barricos. You had the Barrett
Domination. Yeah,
Nation Domination.
Generation X.
Well, they were not a thing just yet. They came after. You had DOA had formed. You had I said the Barrett. They had Kurgan and all them in it. You had
oh my god.
No, the oddities hadn't came yet. But I'm talking about the new that gen. They call it this new generation. That's where Degeneration X came from. So now people don't know that's where Degeneration X. They were Degeneration X. They were X in that new generation. It's a commercial that WWF did. It was the generation. We're the generation. A generation. They were doing that whole thing, and it was like a bunch of they like had a bunch of factions in WWF at that time. And
Rockabilly. Okay, I remember.
Yeah, what was Shawn Michaels, Man Johnson, the Ultimate Warriors group faction called? The Posse? Yeah, the Posse.
Oh, Bone Skull, the Bone Skull crew or whatever.
No. You talking about that was backstage. I'm talking about Shawn Michaels and it was Ultimate Warrior. It was Ultimate Warrior, Shawn Michaels, and Man Johnson. They were a faction in WWF. Their faction was called Posse. Yes, during that whole weird, and that's everybody. A lot of us.
I don't remember the Posse. I just
hold
on.
Hold
I
on.
remember the Click, but I remember the Posse.
Let me see. I'm a bit of a kind of a historian. Now there is
I can tell. I totally
matter of fact.
Look,
I'm a major historian. I
was basically a little kid coming up during the golden era, so I must have missed the Posse. I mean, I caught on to the DOA, the Nation Domination, of course, the Click. Of course, Bret Hart gave Generation X degenerate because he called them degenerate, so that's why they called them Generation X. But of course, now I do remember they were short term, but y'all remember the Right to Censor?
Right to Censor, or how about the one with Kurgan was the Truth Commission?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, vaguely. I remember
that was god awful. That was god awful. But that was a very interesting era because they thought that Mark Marrow, Ahmed Johnson, a bunch of people that one they pulled like some people from the Indies like Ahmed, and then they pulled like Mark Marrow over from WCW, and that's when they first got. I'm a bad man. That's when they first got Triple H, and Vince had the eyes for him, not realizing that his original blue blood gimmick and curtsying was not getting over with people whatsoever. That new blood era, that new generation era was just so bad, and that fizzled out because they went from that to the gang wars to the Attitude Era within like a year and a half. It was just like, what do we do?
Yeah, that's what's so cool. And then also, because remember when Triple H came out with that curtsy, he came with Sable first too. That's when Sable was first brought in. Oh, this is okay. You know what? I probably saw this. I probably just forgot about it.
Even though I am no rocket scientist, I also know that there are powers in numbers. Ken Cornette 3-on-1.
This faction is called the Posse.
But when the Ultimate Warrior and Ahmed Johnson team up with the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, well, now we're talking an even score. And these three guys, better known as the People's Posse, is going to burn Ken Cornette to the ground.
You know what, Sean? I don't think those boys did their homework. You got men that they said the best affect the rest in the world, but none before, none after. Then you got a man that is close they gonna get to a hero without turning the page of Superman comic book with Jay Greer. Then you got me. A man just don't give a damn.
Well, as y'all can see, because we all know about the Cornette, his team, his faction. There's a lot of other factions around, but yeah. And so my thing is this was that generation that we're talking about, that weird vortex that people forget, people overlook. Like, oh, I don't remember that. People wipe that away from their memories. There's the Federation era, the Golden Federation era, and then there was this transition that they were making, and it was just kind of like, it was a weird time where you had groups like this: Ultimate Warrior, Shawn Michaels, Ahmed Johnson, and a faction.
Yeah,
the People's Posse.
Really odd pairing. That's a really odd combination.
And they were a faction.
It's like going out to dinner and having spaghetti, mashed potatoes, and a side of grapes. What?
Wow,
that was an odd combination. That's an odd combination. But
yeah,
I was probably either in my teens then, or I might have a show I might have missed and never saw. See, like I said, I was a little kid, mostly in the 80s.
This was 1980s. Yeah, it's 1996. So the whole 94. No, I'll say the 96, 97 era was like a weird vortex. And a lot of people were tuning more into WCW at the time.
WCW.
So
probably
it was
why I missed it then. But yeah,
because we know that we know when the Attitude Era was born, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was, you know, this was 96, so this is right before it. This is that weird year vortex where you had Triple H fighting the Ultimate Warrior and getting squashed by him in minutes and then running off. Like it was weird. So I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, Jerry said I forgot about that. Yeah, it was the generation era was unique. Like if you go back, you'll see a lot of weird stuff that you're like, yo, that was a thing. And yes, it was.
This is back when Farouk was still wearing that foam Nerf hat thing that he had.
I remember that.
Oh man!
And he was managed by Sonny. That was such an odd pairing too. Managed by Sonny of all people.
Yeah,
it's like mashed potatoes, spaghetti, and grapes for dinner. What the is all that?
Oh my gosh, man! I love bringing people back to some stuff that they literally looked over, but it's a lot of juicy stuff there. And there's a lot of fans that when I point out stuff like that, they be like, "Wow, I love Ultimate Warrior. I love Shawn Michaels, and Ahmed was one of my favorites. They were all together. It was an affection, yes, but that generation era, the next generation era thing that they were doing, it just." I guess it was so out of. There's some okay parts to it because there are documentaries on that whole project, and but that's where D-Generation X get their name from. They got their name from them saying we're D-Generation X, so that's where that came from, people.
Well, I can figure out what happened to that posse. Warrior no-showed, and then Ahmed probably hurt HBK, and that's Getting in the ring, Ahmed had to do something to mess up HBK.
When Word became unreliable, that's when they brought back Psycho Sid at the time. I remember the promo when Psycho Sid was back, and there was a surprise. He goes, and then Shawn said, "At least he's reliable," which was a dig at the Warrior for not showing up. So,
yeah,
that was definitely that was the height of also their working agreement with the USWA back then, right before the USWA got sold to the guy in Cleveland and it folded. So you still had all that cross promotional talent. That's why you were bringing in the old Smoky Mountain guys like Salvador Sincere, Candido, Tom Pritchard, so on and so forth. And then, of course, Smoky Mountain went belly up, and then USWA was in its dying days. So, you had Kane as Isaac Yankem. He didn't know what to do with the talent. He just kind of was, throwing anything against the wall and hoping it sticks. Henceforth, the Posse.
Clive said, one of my fans is watching. Clive says Vince sold out countries in WWE. Clive also went on to say, without Vince, no Randy Orton, RKO, no The Rock, no John Cena, no Undertaker, no Stone Cold, no Hardys, etc. And Clive, I give you props on that one. Facts. So that's why I say let's not just shit on this man like that as far as his creative, because look what we did get. Now he did usher in all of that. That alone, and that we haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg with that one. And I see Derek. I acknowledge some stuff too. I guess he was saying he forgot about that. I guess we're talking about the Posse. Derek went on to say, Ruthless Aggression era was the fine for making their old stars. Oh, I guess they brought up the Ruthless Aggression era. I mean, it was what it was for me. I mean, I got whatever enjoyment I can get out of it. It was a little rocky for me, but I find in the Ruthless Aggression era. I mean, Eddie Guerrero was in the Ruthless Aggression era. Those people that were still there in that era, so that was some good stuff in the Ruthless Aggression era. So
I think the whole thing with Ruthless Aggression was they were trying to get away from the Crash TV and go more towards the in-ring product, as well as bringing in that initial amazing Jim Cornette rookie class from OVW of Orton, Cena, Batista, Carlito came in right after that. I mean, it was a great rookie class. So it's like, okay, we can't just have these guys debut in the Attitude era that just get eaten up. So let's go to a more wrestling-based era, get away from a lot of the wrestling with furniture, splitting ourselves open, and so on and so forth. And that's when they started the whole promotional split and everything else. So I think that's basically, I had no hate for the Ruthless Aggression era. They were just getting away. It was the beginning of trying to mellow for the masses, but you also had to introduce this handful of new people. Kennedy, he came up in that rookie class. There was a really good grip of people. So it was not a bad move on their part. In fact, I would take the Ruthless Aggression over the last few years, where you just had the same old main events and the 50-50 booking. And I think the biggest thing to be taken away from the last this I don't know what we call the era that we're currently in, was the fact that we signed all these great workers that had names out there and then just let them go. So we can hold on to our madcap Mosses. I don't get it. That's one thing. I'm like, we kind of fucked up on that one.
Clive has a question. He says, Will Smith lost support for the Chris Rock slap. Do you think do you think TV stations and companies may pull out for WWE because of Vince?
This is a really good question, and I think that's part of the reason he did the 60-second promo, is to try to convince TV, maybe hoping he could convince the TV, but it's all work. This is a big storyline. It'll go away, and we'll bring out some actress, and we'll say it was her, and it turns out it was me, Austin, all along. That is the only thing I can think. The only reason I can think that he pulled that 60-second promo, that whole power walk to the ring, try to be a heel, try to elicit some boos. All of a sudden, you're getting cheered. You don't know why, and you don't know what to do, so you bail out of there fast. I can see.
I love the way
big
you put
time.
that. I love the way you put that, and you said it better than I did. That's exactly what that's what I see. That's why I said I believe he's having a breakdown, and for one, he got caught like a deer in the headlights. Like, okay, he had a plan, and everybody has a plan. As boxing, in boxing, we say everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth, and those fans were welcome. Hey, Vince, we love you, man. Come on, man. You show us love, man. Come on, do something, man. And Vince is like, uh,
Yeah,
referee.
that's that. His only choice was to get out of that ring as fast as possible. Make a
As
stupid.
fat,
I mean,
you said it.
befuddled. I mean, he looked befuddled. He looked okay. Like when he delivered the end. Let's all do this together. It's like, who forced that line? That makes no sense. Why would you just throw that out there and then, all right, gotta go?
Where the
You
fuck
could've
did it?
done-
First off, where the fuck did it show up at? Maybe they only saw it in the audience, but I swear on that screen it didn't show shit about some. Then now, but I guess he's saying at
That's
the
our
beginning.
motto. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not the product. But that what? Can you decode some of that shit? Because what the, and the way he's saying, I'm gonna decode some of it. I think what is being said is that they're not going nowhere. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. That's ultimately what he's saying. But why do you come out to tell us that? Nobody said that. Oh, WWE. That was never the question that WWE's for the end. That never was. I've not heard. I've never seen that on tabloids. I have not seen bloggers like us. I haven't seen nobody saying that WWE is for the end. So, what was the purpose of coming out there? We're still strong. Like I'm paraphrasing. I'm thinking like he's mean like well, we're still strong and people stick with us. Like him saying that made no. I agree. Made no sense because nobody has felt like WWE was dying. So, the fuck is you saying that for? And you came out there. You got cheered.
Hey, look, maybe it's a metaphor. Maybe he's metaphorically saying goodbye in a sense. Maybe who knows?
You know, I didn't think about that, Malik. That's a really good observation. That's a really good observation.
Like I said, once again, nervous breakdown. He's going through it, and this is something that's heavy, and he can't shake this one. It's too much legal on this one. Like there's legit documents. There's a legit transaction that we know of now. So this isn't no sweep under the rug or do this. They tried that. So this is something that's literally got the attention of the board. They feel like Vince McMahon is a liability. John Laurinaitis is a liability. They're more likely looking for ways to cut ties with Vince McMahon. I just don't be real with the fans out there. Get mad if you want. I just don't really see Vince McMahon coming up out of this one. But considering he's an older white male, very influential, maybe, but he has a sketchy history. So this is one that I can see him riding off into the sunset on this one. I just don't see him. I don't see him surviving this one. But then again, certain privilege get away with certain things. But
that's the problem. The thing is, if he rides off into the sunset, take your son and daughter with you, please. Especially your daughter. Take your daughter with you. Just
Now this is my thing. If he moves out the way, because Vince, I'm gonna say this because I know a lot of this sound loaded with that I say, but Vince was the thing that was holding up WWE. That Vince is the reason why they are light years financially above other wrestling promotions. Maybe not AEW. AEW has a big follow. I mean, has a big funding, but light years beyond Impact Wrestling. Light years beyond all of them. So that's the big difference that we stretch here is that if it wasn't for Vince, we wouldn't have this. So if Vince does get out the way, I don't know if there's somebody else that can brainchild what Vince's brainchild. Like we know that there's a Tony Khan out there, but somebody got to prove themselves to be another Tony Khan, because Tony is a fucking genius and a wrestling historian and a phenomenal businessman. If those that don't know, they just look at Tony Khan, the AEW guy, do your research on him as the person, the businessman. Study that, and then you come as, oh shit, yeah, that's somebody to be reckoned with. So
let me draw one scary parallel here. Okay, during the steroid trial, who did Vince McMahon bring up to New York and start training to be his heir apparent in case he went to prison?
Who?
Jerry Jarrett, who recently got a job as an executive with WWE.
Jeff Jarrett. That makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. You know what, Sean? We didn't think of that. That's another X factor we didn't think of. Jeff Jarrett could be making a play for the throne, because Jeff Jarrett has a great wrestling mind. Keyword.
He does.
Wrestling mind.
But a piss poor business. Okay. Maybe I'm looking at it harsh. Okay, I can see Jeff wrestling mind playing things, but then now we're putting Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon is the guy. Then Shane McMahon must be the guy that's making this move for the throne. Shane McMahon would have Jeff to be his more wrestling hands-on guy. Now Jeff is not a Vince McMahon by any far. We've seen the piss poor shit he was doing with TNA's, because Dixie Carter, unpopular to many's belief, Dixie Carter saved TNA. The whole issue and her direction. Jeff was going south. Shit wasn't selling, wasn't moving. He was lucky. Jeff was one of the lucky few that got a new owner that gave a damn, that he actually put in money into the company. TNA did the best that they could. We hadn't before AEW, we hadn't seen the company reach that level, or even they became a thing to WWE at one point. I don't know if y'all remember. People like John Cena was referencing TNA. There was Caval on there referencing people. There was fans that chanted the TNA chants. Delete. Like at one point, TNA became. But W did their best to ignore them, and rightfully outsmarted them by buying out arenas before TNA, doing all that type of shit like that. But that wasn't Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett is not a manipulative businessman. He doesn't know business like that. But now, as far as the wrestling ethics of it, yeah, I can see Shane McMahon. So that's why I say I think Shane McMahon could be our culprit behind this. I can see Shane McMahon being the one making a play for the throne, and having Jeff Jarrett there, he'll move Jeff Jarrett up to creative with him. So Michael, you on to something.
Yeah, see, Jeff Jarrett, you're right. Yeah, so Shane McMahon, and look, I can see Shane McMahon being a better business person than Stephanie, because Stephanie, a lot of people don't like as far as business.
His business practices are pretty. Have y'all looked outside of what Shane has been involved in outside of WWE?
Yeah, because she ran a cable company in China. But then again, I heard some things where he was sued, or he was sued for some money. I don't know. But I think as far as coming back home and business, like I said, remember when Shane was in the company just recently on that Royal Rumble, he was backstage trying to do his crazy stuff, and then all of a sudden he got heat real quick
insanity
and sent him home. That might have pissed off Shane right there. So see, Shane probably knew all this in the first place. He probably knew what his father's been doing for years.
Of course, that's his fucking dad.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you know what? This could be the son more so than his daughter. Because I think, like I said, I think his son and daughter are two different people. They're like yin and yang, literally. They might be
if history repeats itself, Vince Sr. got put out of business by Vince Jr. So wouldn't it be fitting if Shane puts out Vince?
Yeah, look, the Lion King, the Circle of Life. It's only fitting that Shane McMahon would take the throne from Daddy.
Now, here comes the question. I hate to do this, but I have to. So if Vince gets away with this, say Vince gets away with this and it doesn't go anywhere, do they tie it into a storyline that this was inside that box that Shane was talking about back in 2016?
I just don't see
I hate to. I'm sorry, guys. I had to. I apologize. But
Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I just don't see Vince and them. I don't see Vince surviving this one. There's no movie ending where I see the alternate ending where Vince comes out and he's still sitting comfortable with the company in the same back in the position that he was in at first. I just don't see it playing out like that because you've upset USA, you've upset Fox, you've become a ultimate liability that could fuck up the whole operation. Now Vince loves the WWE is his life. If you don't believe me, that dude ain't took an off day yet. So I just don't see Vince putting his company at risk like that. I think that he would move out of the way just for visual purposes. And he would rather see it still run but run up under the era of family. Um, Only problem is, of course, Stephanie will be the heir. But the problem with that is Stephanie wants out. And Stephanie has some issues with her daughters that mean more of the world to her, and her husband's health. Triple H ain't doing too good right now.
no.
And the thing is, as far as he goes, why is he working full time in the offices? He should be at home resting. I mean, he's got a defib in his heart. He should not be working at all.
That's it helps back to understanding. That's why she wants to get the fuck up out of there. Husband, let's go. I'm not here to keep looking after you. Let's go. And she will sell her shares to Shane McMahon and whatever parent company. Nick and Shane will be running that motherfucker along with Jeff Jarrett running some credit.
It's not like they don't have money. They have plenty of money. They set for life. They got plenty of money.
Yeah.
All of them, all around. They got plenty of money. And like I said, if Vince stepped aside, he got billions. I mean, he might lose some billions.
I don't see Vince not stepping aside. I mean, he stepped aside now, but far as creative, he can still have creative input. I mean, that's something. I'm gonna put it like this, sir. Even if he didn't have the creative title, who in the back is gonna tell Vince, Vince, we're not gonna go that direction? The fuck? Right now, ain't nobody gonna tell him, no, Vince, we're gonna go the other direction. Oh, really? Joey, get him out of here. Like, so yes, he has creative input. Of course, he has creative input. He can make a call and be like, "Hey guys, I'm watching the show, and who wrote that? Let him go." Yeah. Like he has what Jeff Jarrett you say he has the stroke. So let's not kid it. So of course, Vince, without needless to say, he has input on creative, hands down. Don't let nobody lie to you on no one. So with that being said, I see it, man. Vince is out of there. I'm gonna call it on rest. Now y'all may be different on this one, but I'm gonna say on my opinion, I just don't see him coming up out of this. It's just not in this day and age.
I hope you're right because I hate Vince with a passion. I hope you're right. But to Michael to Mike's question, Vince still has money and power, so he still may skate. He still may squeak by this by the skin of his teeth. If it does, I'll be shocked. I'll be pissed. But as far as your point goes, I hope to God you're right.
The only hold, okay. If Vince, once Vince steps back and puts forth, let's say Shane McMahon, and we threw up the theory of we got Jeff Jarrett there, who can be more hands on with the creative side with the wrestling part aspect of it. Shane and Jeff, and then you had Nick Khan with the business. So I'm looking at it like this. Vince is the money factor there. So Vince would be it's my money. So use my money, do this and do that. Vince is gonna still have say so. He's gonna have input. He's gonna be like, hey, look, I can do this. Vince overwhelmingly has the power of connections. So it's kind of like you're gonna get Vince out the way, but he's still gonna have an influence. He's still gonna have reach. So that's why I say this needs to be a fucking reality series. Like for real, this needs to be a HBO special show of this whole, which they probably a couple of years from now, once all this is said and done, we gonna see it. But the Sun, I think we boiled down to it on Wrestle Chat, and I think we We've killed the topic. I believe our culprit is Shane McMahon
Shane O'Mac. Here comes
and
the money.
and Nick Khan, because we kind of put them together. I think Nick Khan and Shane could be our guys for this one, because I don't know. I clearly see Stephanie selling her shares. Um, I don't see her sticking around, especially from what I've gathered from what's going on with her personal. I see an easy outing for her to be like, okay, look, my family is more important right now. The company's still in family hands. Love you, bro. Do your thing. I that's what I see.
There's one very important thing I want to bring up to everybody out there who's watching us and paying attention to us right now is the fact that somebody has to be gunning for the throne, or somebody has to be gunning for Vince, period. Because if this was the supposed victim, why did it not come out years ago in the Speak Out movement? Why is it coming out now all of a sudden? And we don't know who she is, so she's not the one coming forward. That means there's a third party. There's that word again. There's somebody who wants Vince in hot water or wants him removed from power.
You're
Somebody
right
is
on.
making knight to bishop for whatever the hell the saying is. Somebody is going after the throne.
Well, also to back up what you're saying, she was given the gag order. Shut up.
Okay.
Paid money off, so she was paid to shut up. So she shut up. This is like you said, putting it back in the ball in your court. This is somebody's making a play, and they have other accusations, legal accusations to back this up. Somebody's getting him the fuck out of there. They're
The
playing.
next 72 hours are critical because in the next 72 hours, with what is it, like Juneteenth tomorrow, we have a Sunday, and most businesses are going to be closed Monday for the Emancipation holiday.
Vince
We're going to
McMahon.
see, I would see within the next 72 hours, I'm thinking more allegations coming out. If they don't, then he's got somebody hushing people hardcore left and right. But if whoever is doing this has more allegations to bring against him, that's going to be hitting Twitter. It's going to be hitting the dirt sheets. It's going to be hitting WrestleZone, Wrestle Inc. The Torch, all the major credible sources are going to be blown up with.
Chat City.
What'd you say, buddy?
I say it'll be hitting Wrestle Chat City too.
Yeah, that's
Exactly. It's going to be hitting us all, and that what happened. But the point is, it's going to be one of those situations where when this news comes out, this news is going to be big, and then it's going to be too big to ignore, and he's going to have to step back. That's where it's going to go.
Yeah,
so 72 hours.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I think people don't care about his throne. I think somebody. I think Vince McMahon has pissed off somebody for years, and somebody who's really pissed off is gunning for him. They found an opening, and they're throwing it, and they threw the uppercut. So this is an uppercut gut punch to Vince right now. So
yeah.
I think whoever it is has got backup too. They're all coming after Vince. I think Vince deep down is a hated man. He's just hated. I think it's reached a fever pitch now where he's so hated they want him out of power. So no one cares about his throne. It's just they'll put somebody on there, but they don't care. They're just saying as long as Vince is gone, as long as Vince is gone, permanently gone, no creative control, no reach, no nothing. As long as he's gone, completely gone. You know what I mean? Out of sight. So but yeah,
I'm gonna say this.
I'm thinking the next couple of weeks are going to be critical.
Mm-hmm.
And closing to the chat, Vince McMahon and company, if you're listening, this is the chat that you need to really bite on for a second, and hopefully it feasts upon your ears. Your next move better be your best move, because
one wrong move.
I, for one, on this panel, I don't see you coming out of this one. I got to pull a Robert De Niro. I don't know. I don't think you're going to get out of this one, Frank. I don't see it.
I'll make sure Ben sees this because, like I said, if you link me to this YouTube channel or the link, I will link this video to the WWE Twitter page. I'll even link it to Vince McMahon's Twitter page, and I'll just type, you need to watch this.
Man, this is some ballers episode all over. That for those who don't know that plug of ballers, HBO show, The Rock was making. If y'all notice, The Rock was always making plays to do some bigger moves, like the stadium deal, all that type of stuff. So I see this. I see it, man. Somebody's making that play. So that's why I say, Vince McMahon, make your next move your best move, man. Because right now, I just do not believe you're going to come out of this, and in the same way that you were. I don't see it. You can do as many weird ass walk out there 60-second. Hell, you can pull your pants down for all you give a goddamn. You always want to pull your pants down.
No, that's what got him in trouble in the first place.
You can do that all you want. It's not, ain't nothing's gonna
Got a
help
club you can join.
because this particular era is not the same era as we once known in the past. So Vince, you're in trouble, man. Maybe try to. I don't even think it'll help if with us telling it or playishly figuring out who it could be that's making a play for the throne. I don't think him even knowing who, even if he finds out, I don't think it's going to help him.
That's the thing. There doesn't seem to be a bargaining chip in this, is there? There's no Vince go home, Vince retire, and this all goes away. This is somebody trying to put a dagger in him. That's what this is about. And it's not the person that was paid off. That's what's interesting.
I feel like it's done. I feel like the daggers in the tiger sinks his teeth in, and he's taking that gazelle down. It's over with. I'm sorry. I'm that guy on the panel. I just don't. Now I love everybody else's own personal views, but I'm gonna have to get proven wrong on this one. Maybe in a couple of maybe next year or two, this will come out and I'll be wrong on this one, and Vince will still be running around, caressing the Austin Theory's theory, but hey, maybe I could be wrong, but I really don't think I'm wrong on this one. I think Vince he's out of it. He's done. This is it. He's too much. I mean, he's just I'm gonna try to make sure I clear this up. I'm saying it because even though I pointed him out to be a genius, is that I look at how much he loves WWE, what he's put into it, and I don't think he's gonna make them that much of a liability. He's not gonna try to kill his company with him sticking around. I think he loves that company too much, and he knows, and everybody else knows he's a liability now. What else can come out? What else can leak out right now? Is there anything else, Vince? I don't know. Well, you wouldn't know. You probably forgot most of this shit. But something else can come out, and it's over with. And y'all read the reports, right? The reports say there's more coming. We seen what happened to R. Kelly. We seen what happened to Bill Cosby. We seen it happen to the other disgusting names. I don't want to say the other guy, his Weinstein and all that. Everybody's gonna come forward. So this is gonna make AEW look beautiful.
All they have to do is not fuck up. To quote the movie, I don't know if you've ever seen the old 80s feel-good teen movie 3 O'Clock High. And there's a line from the movie, if anybody watching this, don't fuck this up, Mitchell. And it's all you have to do is don't fuck this up, AEW.
Oh yeah, 3 O'Clock High, awesome movie. I have it. I have it on DVD.
But you see, AEW is it's don't fuck this up, Mitchell. Don't fuck this up. And if anybody don't know, at least Malik knows what I'm saying when I say that line. There's one thing I want to say too as we wind down is that remember what killed Icarus. He wanted to fly like the gods, so he built the wings. But he got too greedy and he wanted to be closer and closer to the sun when he knew it wasn't too good for him. That's what Vince McMahon's done now. That whole going to the ring, that's like Icarus getting closer to the sun until all those wings fall off and you fall right into the ocean and die.
Mm-hmm. This is going to burn. He's basically going to burn for this. Not just for this. He's going to burn for everything he's ever done because he is one cold-blooded son of a bitch individual. I'm just saying. He may be a genius, but some of the world's greatest geniuses can be some of the most cold-blooded people. I'm sorry. So he deserved he deserves everything he's got coming to him. And technically, it's long overdue. His ass is long overdue on the collection agency. His ass is long overdue. So
the IRS, that was the other scandal he had. That was back in the 2000s, like the 05 to 08 era. He had something with the IRS. And the IRS said they put them under investigation. So he thought it'd be really cute to cut a promo where he was talking about how he wasn't scared of the IRS. And in the background, there was a guy reading a newspaper, and he lowers it, and it was IRS, Mike Rotundo, the wrestler. And then he put the newspaper back up.
Erwin R. Scheiss. I remember that shit, yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually that was funny, though. Him and Teddy DiBiase became Money Incorporated. Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah. It's funny. Look at, but the thing is, every one of these scandals, he's somehow made a farce out of. I don't see if this is just one of many that are coming out right now. This is not something that you can go to the ring, do a 60-second turn and burn, make a statement that means nothing. That statement had nothing to do with anything. That's like saying, "You guys still like vanilla pudding? Me too, vanilla pudding," and just leave. What does that even mean?
Really, I'm just saying.
Very accurate.
No, I'm saying Vince, and I'm gonna make sure you get this video. Trust me. This time you're the farce and you're the joke, and literally you're the butt of the joke. So
also since you are saying that, I'm glad you put that out there. We are streaming from WrestleChat on YouTube, so I'm gonna see if I can actually pull up WrestleChat, and I can literally show everybody that, hey, we're on YouTube, and while we're talking about this,
send me the link to the YouTube channel, because I'm gonna copy the link and I'm gonna put it right on his Twitter, and I'm gonna put it in the WWE Twitter and the WWE Universe Twitter. So I'm gonna put it in three places. I want him to see this. I want everybody to see this. So it'll get you a good amount of views.
It's so incredibly strange that, like I said, the things that still plague my mind are the fact that all this is coming out right now, and it's right after, there's been a shakeup with executives, after Stephanie's taken time off, then brought back, after you fired, Barrios and Wilson a year ago, then replaced them with Nick Khan, who's bulldozed over everything in his path like a killdozer. There's just so many oddities that are all coming together, and somehow, somewhere along the way, he pissed in somebody's Cheerios, and they held on to the receipt, as they say, and now they're getting their money back. And like I said, I think the next 72 hours, something else is going to come up, and then another thing, and enough of these minor things, it could be the removal. Once, if they can either pull out, I believe what they said is he owns 50.1% of stock, which means he's non-removable. So you have to get rid of that 1%. You get rid of that 1%, then essentially you can do whatever you want. You can send him home. He doesn't matter. Of course, like there are people, there are sheeple who are such diehard WWE fans who do not believe that the company could go on without him. They are wrong. There are some great minds there, like Jarrett. It'd be interesting if this is all something of Shane's, because God, I don't want to see any more of those weird fight clubs on Monday Night Raw. That was god awful.
I remember that shit. Yeah.
God, what? There was no excuse. Someone still owes me money for that. But the point is, it can go on without him. And even if they oust him, whoever gets it, if you don't think Vince won't be at least hired as a creative consultant in some way, you're thinking out your ass. He will have his hands in there, but it'll be the first time in his life where someone says, "No, we're not going to do that." But you have to get rid of that 1% stock, and there's going to have to be more to this. This is definitely a black eye on him, and I know that all the sponsors, all the everybody's got to be looking at him. Every AB or USA, Peacock, everybody across the board has got to be looking at him saying, "Okay, what are you going to do about it?" That's where they are. They're at that crossroads right now. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, and see, the one place I think that's going to cancel him, that should cancel him, is Fox, because Fox shouldn't even play that shit. Because see, they're too big a network to be messing with some fake wrestling. I don't even know why they even paid him $1 billion for 5 years. That's money down a hole right there.
Fox. Okay, all the companies, they have to be very, very cautious about how they move to that, because there could be legal ramifications with it. So they're gonna have to, if they got, they got to be within the means of their deal. And see, make sure if WWE breached it. If that was in the contract for any scandal, we got exit clause. We can exit. So I don't know what their deal is. As you guys see on the screen, that's Wrestle Chat right there. 10K subscribers. So we're bringing more content back on there now. So as you can see, the views, they're gonna slowly start coming back on up. So we're gonna start being more active on Wrestle Chat, because we have an audience, subscribed audience. So it's time to start putting some more content up there. Back with the crew, back with the team. And I know, Malik, you want to share something from the page, but as you can see, Wrestle Chat is there live in the building.
Yeah, it didn't come up in my YouTube search, but I was saying if you send me the link in the DM on Facebook, that way. Okay, hold on, let me see it. Wrestle. Okay. Yeah, it still didn't come up. Okay, I'm gonna try NOCW or.
I would say that to everybody that tunes into Wrestle Chat, I would say type in Wrestle, the W with capital and then the C capitalized with all that together. Wrestle Chat. I said Wrestle Chat.
Okay. Yeah, I did that. It still didn't come up. I got the first one comes up is Wrestle. Okay. Yeah, I still didn't see it come up. It's a bunch of stuff that comes up though.
I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But I know I'll get with you after the show. Mike, you want to plug in any of your great work that you do across besides Wrestle Chat?
Yes. If anybody wants to reach me on Twitter, it's at 144captain. And obviously, most people know that I'm a on-air broadcasting personality for the WWE podcast.com, which is kind of evolving. We have fresh content there all the time. Every day there's new shows. We have an AEW cleanup show hosted by Memphis Mark. We have, which formerly hosted by Mimi. He's filling in for a lady named Mimi Burris, who's amazing. We have Raw reviews. We have weekend reviews. We have classic pay-per-view reviews. My own personal show has yet to launch. I'm still working on some recording, but I am a featured guest host quite a bit. And but aside from that, if you'd like to discuss any of this, at 144captain on Twitter, like I said, and obviously you can hear me both here and at the WWEpodcast.com. And I'd love to do more of these visual chats with you gentlemen, because obviously we all come from different generations of watching wrestling. I'm, believe it or not, almost 50. And
I am 50.
Exactly. We all came in at different times of watching. And so you obviously remember the territory era too, which was amazing. And so I'm quite a wrestling historian. I love to discuss wrestling. If anybody wants to talk about it, any aspects, any angles, anything, or anything that might have slipped through the cracks as far as wrestling goes, and you just want a fresh take on it, I'm your guy. Let's have some fun. All right.
I mean, I look at it like this. As we go forward. Oh, Clive has a question. Clive's question was last week, Jeff Hardy in AEW, and now this week, Vince. Clive, I'm going to take that one first. Jeff Hardy was inevitable. I'll leave the Jeff Hardy discussion for a separate discussion, but I'm gonna say this on Jeff Hardy just to kick it off. Y'all have to understand what he's going through is deep on a level of it's pain. That's why some of the matches he's doing, he really I'm gonna be like this here. It's kind of a damn if you do, damn if you don't. I know what guys like him are going through. It's the pain. It's the pain that's killing him. How he copes with the pain is he drinks and drowns it out. If you can tell by his drinking habit, he drowns out what he's going through. The back aches, all that stuff. Some people they drink it away to where they just so they can kind of cope with it better that way. It's like have you ever watched a horror movie or action movie and they get shot or stabbed and they do work on themselves like drinking it so they can become so they can deal with the pain more. That's what he's drowning himself with that to deal with the different pain and medication that he's taking. It's not a good thing. It's horrible, but I'm helping people understand the type of individual that is. So it's not just he needs to stop wrestling fix because we need to find something to help him with that pain. I don't know what kind of medication. Maybe he don't like the medication he's getting. As a family, they're gonna have to figure that out with Jeff. Because he has his own personal demons is mainly, because he got better. He healed mentally at one point real good, but it's really going to be physical now because all that toll that he took on his body, he uses, it looks like to me, just studying his track record, he uses the liquor. And I've helped many different people. The reason I can talk like this is because for those who know me on another personal level, what I do and what I have done for others that have drug-related problems and drinking problems, the classes that I hold. So I see that's what's going on with him. It's more of a physical pain that's going on, and he's drowning himself out with that. Because it's a no-brainer. He's gotten chance after chance. And what can make a man do that? Y'all don't know. When you have a body ache pain, a situation going on, just to get it, just I'm just do one time. You want to get it away. So Jeff is going through that right now, people. So the answer that we need for that one is my advice would be to Jeff and family. Try to find a replacement. Go to the doctor, see if I can find a replacement. But other than that, it's kind of hard to really touch on because it's going to be a damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you don't drink, he's going to go through hell of pain. If you do, he's gonna put people through hell of pain. So it's just, and then it's not a him. Like I said, it's not a. I heard a fan say this. It's not a him stop wrestling fix. That's not gonna just because he's gonna go through mental situation. Because wrestling is a release for Jeff Hardy. So if he doesn't wrestle, he's probably gonna. It's like how a lot of older men that get pushed into retirement, and then they don't want to sit there. They end up getting a job on the side, or they open up their own company to get employed by another company, just to do some work, just to keep from just sitting around in the house and just feeling old. So this is more of a mental, and it's a family fix that they're gonna have to literally get to the doctor. So for the fans that are shitting on Jeff Hardy right now, wait till you get a family member to go through this. It's one of the most nerve-wracking and headache. And I understand some people answer just leave. Fuck him. I'm done with it. I did what I can do, but I'm sometimes cursed with the challenge of understanding these situations. So it's not just a one and done fixed situation with Jeff Hardy, guys. So fans, if you're fans of Jeff Hardy or you're not, just take some understanding on this one. It is disappointing, but it is what it is. Hopefully they can get this worked out. Hopefully the doctors involved, they can get them prescribed something that will cope with the pain better than just fucking him up. Because the other medication, I'm pretty sure he's been prescribed medication before. It probably made him feel funny. He probably didn't like it. Because that's usually the main thing with a lot of other people. They say, I don't like the medication. It's not helping me. It makes me feel sluggish. So there's a lot of different things. So I know we'll go in depth on another show, but I just want to shed some light to them because I see a lot of frustration with the wrestling fans out there with Jeff Hardy and his outtakes. But yeah. Malik, you want to plug any of your alias shows?
Okay, yeah. Well, as you know, I'm Malik X. I did a show last night. I do a series called Wrestling Topics. And Tyshawn, I want to let you know, as we're speaking right now, I've already linked your video to all 3 Twitter feeds. And I've even just typed to Vince McMahon. I said, watch this ASAP and make sure your next move is a smart one. And I'm linking this in the WWE Universe Twitter feed right now. So it's I'm making sure it's out there good now.
It's up.
Yep.
But other than that, man, this is Wrestle Chat, and for all of y'all that want to become part of this and part of the discussion, we welcome. I will start opening the phone lines so people can call in and talk and give their personal views. Or even if you want to become a part of the chat, that's one thing about us. We don't run from anyone. If you have a different opinion, you want to come on, you want to talk, want to say something, you're welcome to come on the panel with Michael, Malik, Devil Guy, whenever he returns out of the shadows. All of us that are on this crazy Wrestle Chat panel, man, look, we welcome it. Just come with some respect, and you might get some. But besides that, in the outside world, as you see right above us on with my current promotion, NOCW, Nation of Championship Wrestling, we right now have one of our next biggest shows, which is Summer Bash. Bash is literally Bash of the Summer, and it's our 4th annual Summer Bash. We just did a show, Grand Stage, NOCW Grand Stage. We showcased Alberto Del Rio, Chris Masters, Austin Aries, EC3. I mean, Super Beast, the International Star Super Beast. We had a lot of international luchadors. Like literally, we've had. Oh no, I'll get to that in a second, Clyde. But we literally had a lot of star power this past June. But now in Summer Bash, we're taking it to a whole nother level. We're having a pro wrestling pool party, where you're having a wrestling show and a pool party going at the same time. It's finna be bananas. I knew I couldn't outdo Grand Stage, so I had to do something that was still refreshing, new, and exciting. So if you're in the local area, I know a lot of people had traveled to come to Grand Stage. So wherever you are, if you want to come, you want to visit, and come to Wrestle Chat, which is sponsoring NOCW's event as well, along lines with Pro Shingles, who's also a proud sponsor. Brink TV was also a proud sponsor, and also just joined on 901 Treats, who's also a proud sponsor of this particular event, Summer Bash. This 4th annual Summer Bash is actually the start, the beginning. This is our first solo show ran with Summer Bash. So now we're with the 4th annual event. So now, hey guys, everybody on the panel, if you can make that date, July 23rd, which is private invite so all the fans out there that want to attend, you have to book your spot, and then you'll be given a location, and we can go ahead and pack it out and have a good time at the pool party. But other than that, I've had a great time today on the panel. I love getting with my Wrestle Chat brothers, and we go in, especially when it's time to kill a topic.
Mm-hmm.
When it's that time, that's when I know we finna have some fun. For real.
Yeah. I had some fun tonight.
Absolutely, definitely.
But other than that, we're gonna shift it